Hello everyone, my name is Ratna Andrea, your assistant BPM course. Now I'm going to show you how to create users, groups, departments, and roles demonstrated by my fellow assistant Haryo. So for the first step, we're going to create the users first. For the context, the users here refers to accounts for the people involved or assigned in a business process. Like for example, in a business process flow, there are 5 users involved. Let's say there are engineer, finance, and etc. Now I'm going to create one of the users from the finance division. And so from here, you can just follow the steps from the given module. We can just leave this replaced by column empty since it's the only user we created, so meaning there are no other users to replace this yet. And for the expiration date, we can change it to 2022. And then for the default calendar, we can just choose that one, and then active for the status and operator for the role. For the password, you can set it yourself to your liking. Here we put admin for the password. So we can see here there's one user, John Smith, from the finance and treasury position with role operator. So the operator here means the person who executes the task in the business process flow. Just like that, and the new user we created previously will be shown here, John as the operator. Different from the admin here, with the role of system administrator, who can change the entire activity in the process maker. Logging in into John's account with the limited access of the operator role, several tasks where John got assigned on will be displayed. Next, after creating users, we're going to create groups that can help us with grouping. For example, in a company, you want to group the C-levels like CEO, CDO, and employees and divisions. You can do that here. Or maybe you want to group the intern employees. Those kind of things are possible too. So basically, every user that have their own group can be grouped here. So for now, we can create the group with the name Finance and Treasury, just like in the module. We can keep the status inactive and we click Save. We can see here that the users and the tasks are currently 0. So to assign users, we can just click the user button here and we can click the assign users. Here we can put John Smith into the group. So to do that, we can just click the user and click the single arrow on the top here. This means John Smith has become the part of the finance and treasury group. If we want to cancel, we can just click the user and choose the single left arrow button here, and so on. So as we can see, the numbers here has changed into 1 because we put John Smith here. Next, after creating the group, we can use the department. This almost has the same function as groups for grouping, but the department here can have sub-departments. For example, we want to make treasury and account department. Here we can add a new sub-department, which means it is under the treasury and account department. We can just follow the module, the finance, treasury, and account sub-department. Again, this is just an example, so all this will be depend on the cases you have. For example, in your case, maybe you have one department, human resource, let's say, and under that, let's say there are human resource employee, human resource C-level, etc. Another differences in department and groups is that in group, when assigning a user in groups A, the mentioned user can exist in another groups, let's say in group B, but in department here, when a user got assigned in a department or a sub-department, then the user will not be displayed in another department. Here I'm showing an example. We put John Smith in treasury sub-department, and then we want to add a new user in account sub-department. John Smith will not be available here because he is in part of the treasury department, and so on. And here we can edit the manager role into any of the user assigned in the department or the sub-department, and each of these can only have one manager. But if we want to unassign manager, we can just click the unassign button, and set manager, we can click the button next to it. For the context, Process Maker is a RBAC application or role-based access control where each user have limited or restricted access to the available permission. So for example, as you can see here, every system administrator, operator, manager, they has different permissions. Like the admin, they can manage every activity in Process Maker. Meanwhile, operator can only execute tasks assigned for them. Now we need to add one more role, just like in the module, the PM architect role. Here we can click new and type PM_architect. And for the name, we can enter process architect. Put the status to active and then we click save. After creating the role here, we still need to assign some permissions for the role. Just like in the module, permissions that need to be added for the role are permission PM login. Its function is to give permission for the users in the role to log into Process Maker. We can just add it to assign permission. Next, we need the PM_factory to allow user to add new process and manage the available process in the workspace. The next one is PM_case to allow the user to start a new case and to manage the assigned task for themselves. And we don't need to assign the last permission because we need to adjust some data reporting tools first, but the report_user will allow the user to access the report in the data reporting tools. Here we already have 3 permission codes. We can click back. Next, after we finish the role creation, we can try to simulate it here. For example, the user we made before, the John Smith, previously has the role operator. We can edit the role into process architect with the permissions we have set previously. Here we can see the role has changed into process architect, and the roles here are also changed. The PM architect's active role turned into 1 instead of 0, and the operator's role changed into 0. Next, when we log out and log in with John's account, here we can see that there's no admin function on the right because John's role only for starting a new case, log in, manage a new case, and create a new process maker. So it's different when we log in with admin's account where we have the access to every function in the process maker. So as you can see, there's the admin tab and the dashboards tab, unlike John's account. Okay, so that's the step on creating users, groups, departments, and roles.